Hi, my name's Tyler with American Office Solutions, a Kyocera authorized partner. And today we're going to be talking about PinPoint Scan and explaining some of the changes that are coming to scanning in your office. So the reason why we're doing this is because many email providers are starting to implement strict security measures that's making scanned email way less reliable. So that's increased authentication requirements, which can cause scanning failures or require some frequent reconfiguration. Email servers may block large scan files or flag them as suspicious. So if you're looking to alleviate some of these challenges that you've been facing, or if it happens to you in the future, now that Microsoft Office is making some changes in the near future, we'd love for you to be able to get in contact with us because PinPoint Scan is going to help you alleviate a lot of these challenges. So we kind of want to help you start by getting this all downloaded on your computer, and you want to actually talk to your provider to be able to make sure you have that downloaded on your computer and on the copier, because that's not something that you can do online yourself. So give us a call and let us know how we can get that working for you. So let's get kind of started on linking this up with your device. So once you have it downloaded and ready to go and all set up, we can kind of go to your system tray right here at the bottom right of your computer screen. Click that open, and you're going to see this little spot here. It's going to tell you PinPoint Scan. You're just going to double click that, and it's going to pop up looking like this, or on the identification page right at the beginning. To get this connected to your copier and to any copier on your network, you're going to want to make sure to have this identification pin set to something that you can remember easily, but don't worry, you can change it at any time. Just show you here really quick. I can change it to 1, 2, 3, 4. I can change it to what I had before, so 1030, and we're going to keep it there. And when I have it, we can even click this little I and make sure that you're not sharing it with anybody else when it pops up when you log in for the first time again. So let's get everything set up the way we want it. You're going to see something like this when you first open your Destinations tab, and this is how we're going to configure really everything in here before we get to scanning anything in. So we just want to make sure we have what we want. So what I want is I want an email that I can scan to, so that when I'm using the old Outlook, unfortunately this doesn't work with the new Outlook, so you're going to want to work with your IT team if you're using the new Outlook on what that will look like. So let's pull up the old Outlook through email. I'll show you how that attaches the file to an email so you can just easily scan to email. And I also am going to set up a new file with you in this little tab down here. This is going to help you configure your own scan destination. But before we do that, let's talk a little bit about scanning to email. So to scan to email, we're going to have this open. It should already be set up for you when you log in for the first time. So all you have to make sure that you have open as well is your Outlook. Now this isn't going to work with any other app other than Outlook, so make sure Outlook's open. And then once Outlook's open, we're just going to go ahead and head to the copier. We're going to be scanning this set in. When you get to the copier, you're going to want to go to PinPoint Scan. You're going to want to type in that code that we just talked about earlier for identification. Now you'll see that exact same screen for destinations is going to show up for you right here. Now we're trying to scan to email, so let's just select email. We can name it whatever we want from this point. So you can click into here and take all of this away. And we can set this up to make it really unique. So if you wanted a very specific naming process, you can have that set up, but work with your provider on how you want to do that. I'm just going to call this one test for now. And that's going to change the name of the file itself. We're going to press enter when we're done. There we go, we got test, that's gonna be the file name. Press this little arrow at the bottom right. Now we have a lot of options here. You're gonna see this for anything that's not a one-touch scan. So when you're doing all of these options, these are the exact same options you're gonna have for copying. So when you're going through here, continuous scan is something that gets used a lot, making sure that when you're scanning, like receipts or something in and you're putting it on the glass, you can have multiple of those go on. It'll ask you every single time you finish one job if you want to send that job or if you want to continue scanning. Otherwise, you can select, different color options if you just wanted black and white, if you want to separate files into their own files and you have multiple pages, lots of different things. Just play around with them and make sure you have something that fits the needs that you're looking for. If you have questions, give us a call. But we're going to head on over here to the scan function, and once we press this, it's going to start scanning. So make sure your documents are in place before you press this button. Perfect. Now we can head back to the computer and just make sure that that's scanned over. And you can already see, before I even got back to my seat, it's there. There's our test.pdf, and it's an open email for us, so we're ready to type that into whoever we want to send that to and send it on our way. Continuing from there, we can actually go back to PinPoint Scan, because now I want to show you a little bit about how to make your own destination, beyond the ones that are just there for you when you open it. So you press this plus key. It's going to give you a name, a new destination. We're going to change that one, and we're just going to call it desktop scans, because I'm going to put my scan folder on my desktop. And now we have to choose the direction for that. So it's a folder. There's a couple options for applications, emails, or folders. We're just going to go with folder on this one. That's the most common, scanning to folder. Click these three little dots over here. That's going to open up your browser. You're going to want to go and find your location you want to save them to. So I'm going to desktops, and then I already have a scan folder. So I'm going to click the scan folder that I want to save to. And then I'm going to select folder. Now we can kind of choose what we want to do. And I don't want to have to do much work when I do this. So I just want to make sure that this is a one-touch key. All I have to do is press the location I want, and it's just going to start scanning for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the enter file name. It's going to do that for me. And I'm not going to ask for any of those scan settings that we saw before. Now, as you can see in panel options, it just says one touch. That's perfect. That's exactly what we're looking for. All of our other options here we can kind of talk about. So color document versus a black and white document versus a photo. So those are all going to be PDF. You have to change the file document down here for it to actually change from anything other than a PDF. So if you need a TIFF file, a JPEG, or something similar. So don't worry about that at the top too much. You can change color selection as well, from full color to grayscale, monochrome, auto monochrome, auto grayscale. Really, you're scanning, you're not getting charged for scans, so go ahead and just use full color for scanning. Resolution you can change, original type, if it's photo or if it's a text document. Most of the time, you're going to be totally fine leaving these as they are unless you have something very specific you're looking for. And I really recommend that you work with your tech team to make sure that, you're working on this with them to set up for your actual needs. Otherwise, you can choose the type of way that the doc is actually going to be saved when it is naming its file for the first time. So I don't like to have a timestamp on this one. I just wanted to say doc, because I'm going to check this all the time, or maybe I do. So I would add timestamp. When you add timestamp, it's going to have the date there for you. So now that we have timestamp added, we're just going to press save. And we can go back to the copier now and do another scan to our one-touch folder. Now that we're at the copier again, same exact document we had before. Going into PinPoint Scan again. Typing in that identification number. And now you can see Desktop Scans has this little icon here with the scanner at the bottom right of the icon. That just means it's a one-touch scan. So now we have our document loaded. We're just going to select Desktop Scans. Now that it's sent, we can head back over to the computer, and it should be right in the scans folder for us. All right. Now that we're back at the computer, we can go ahead and minimize out of that PinPoint Scan and open our scans folder. And look at that. There's our scan. We can go ahead and open it, make sure it's correct. It opens Adobe for us, and perfect. That's exactly what we were looking for. All right. Just to recap, with all the changes coming in the next couple of years, PinPoint Scan will be the solution because of its increased reliability, eliminating any issues caused by the email provider restriction updates, faster processing with direct scanning, reducing delays from email authentication, and enhanced security by accessing the software with a PIN. If you want to continue this conversation, please reach out to AOS and we can connect with you and get something started for you. Thanks so much.